Hello and welcome to Sobirov's Wednesday live show about business immigration. My name is Rahmat Sobirov, managing lawyer of the boutique business immigration law firm in Toronto. I greet you all live from this beautiful city. And by the way, today is an International Women's Day. On my behalf, on behalf of my family, and on behalf of my team at Sobirov's law firm, we congratulate all women around the world on this great holiday. Additionally, it's a holy festival in India, so all those who are celebrating these beautiful days and holidays, happy holidays to you, and please welcome all other friends and all other relatives, whoever you celebrate it with. Please enjoy it thoroughly and hope it will be a memorable day for you. So every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. I go live like this and cover one topic, and then I get to your questions. Today's topic is establishing your business in Canada as an entrepreneur. But I would add to that, as a foreign entrepreneur. So we will cover from the perspective of a foreign entrepreneur who wants to establish a business by buying a business or starting from scratch, or partnering with a business owner, with a local partner in Canada. Whatever you hear in these live sessions is general information only. For legal advice, please refer to a licensed Canadian immigration lawyers. Okay. Now this is a housekeeping item. I have a brief presentation for about 10-20 minutes, and then I will get to your questions. If you have questions, start typing it now, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated. All right, a brief introduction of the topic has been completed. Now I will tell a little bit about our law firm. For those who don't know us, we are business immigration law firm in Toronto, one of the leading Canadian business immigration law firms, according to the Legal 500 2023. We are immigrant driven. We are immigrants. We've been through the immigration journey. I myself been through the journey 18 years ago. So we are based in Toronto. We are multilingual. We probably speak your language too. And we have an experience of over 10 years doing just business immigration. So business immigration is our business. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at sobirovs.com website. Today's topic has a hybrid nature, okay? On the one hand side, establishing business is a corporate matter. It's a corporate law, there's taxation and so on. On the flip side, because establishing a business as a foreign entrepreneur, you need to cover the immigration aspects too. And of course, these are all associated with cost. We will try to stitch it together, corporate requirements and business immigration requirements, in this presentation, okay? So maybe the stitch will not be as successful as in this apple, but we will try to cover those two aspects, okay? Now, more content, you can access more content, useful content on business immigration. Check our YouTube channel and send us your feedback. If you want us to cover any specific topic, send us your feedback. We will be happy to cover that topic. And don't forget to subscribe because it helps us a lot. And thank you very much. Our website also has a lot of guides on how to do things. For example, you can read our guide related to how to start a business in Canada as a foreigner in 2023, step-by-step guide, okay? You can get the right information, and the website is constantly updated. So go and check out sobirovs.com website. Okay, now without further ado, I will start my presentation on this topic. It will be a step-by-step process. It's a 9-step process based on our experience dealing with many foreign entrepreneurs. You may agree, somebody may disagree, but this is our experience that I wanted to share with you today. Before I delve into the topic, you need to understand the structure of Canada as a state, as a country. We are a federal country consisting of provinces and federal government. These are two big entities that always clash in a good way. clash together for certain jurisdictions, okay? In corporate area, in immigration, they clash together. They say, I will do this, I will do that. So there's this, in a simple way, there's always a positive interaction between two levels of government, federal and provincial, okay? So when we talk about doing business in Canada, we have to keep that in mind, okay? Both federal and provincial governments have some jurisdictions over both corporate, the establishment of legal entities, as well as the immigration matters, okay? So keep that in mind, keep that dichotomy in mind when you are dealing with your business formation. First of all, it's about legal entity. A corporation which is incorporated in Canada, whether federally or provincially, it's a separate legal entity. In a way, it's an artificial human being, right? It has its own rights, corporation has its own rights, privileges, and so on. It has its own identity. It's separate, it is separate from your own individual personality, okay? And it may require some licensing. So Canada, as a developed country, requires certain type of permits, licensing, and regulation of certain activities, whether business, non-business, non-profit, and so on. The same can be said about provincial corporations. Under provincial acts, there are certain acts. Each province has its own act that will regulate the corporations in Canada. From the foreign entrepreneur perspective, many people ask me, to establish a company, a corporation in Canada, you need a Canadian director. That's not a full answer. It's not entirely correct. For federal corporations, yes, you do need a Canadian director. But for certain provincial corporations, which are equally good, equally fit for your immigration to Canada, certain provinces allow you to establish your business as a foreigner without involving Canadian director. Such provinces are British Columbia, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Quebec, Alberta, and recently, relatively new, is Ontario. So if you establish provincial corporations, on a day-to-day basis, there is not much difference between federal and provincial. They on both, you can do business with both, okay? You can run your business whether it's a provincial corporation or federal corporation. So, and of course, each province has its own permitting requirements. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with establishing a business in Canada. Now, without more legal topic, let's go into the steps. Step number one, these steps may be a bit counterintuitive because I'm adding the immigration aspect to it, okay? The logic here is to get ready for your successful immigration application by doing the right things in establishing a business. So first thing you need to do, even before making any steps with respect to immigration, is to develop a business idea. From the corporate perspective, you should take as much time as necessary. Don't rush. An idea that may seem very attractive to you may not work in Canada. So you need to take your sweet time to research. Know your target audience in Canada. Speak to Canadians. Do some surveys and to see if your business idea is a viable one or not. Analyze the product or service market fit. Does your service or product fit Canadian market? You must fully develop the business idea before doing anything. Maybe somebody else is already doing that idea. Maybe it's not new. Maybe it needs some refinement. So you reiterate, check, and check again before you're ready to embark on a journey to say, yes, I will be pursuing this business idea with confidence, with necessary vigor in a way. So this is important also from the business immigration perspective, because you need to show that you have relevant experience, skills needed to establish and run. you need to have that connection to the idea, okay? It's not out of the blue. You came up with the idea, then you need to prove to the officer that idea is viable, and you are the right person to do that idea, to run that idea in Canada. Visa officer must be convinced that you are able to execute your business plan, business idea. And so the ultimate goal of this exercise of developing business idea is a paper called business plan, right? We will come to that level, but this is the beginning of your business plan. So you need to convince visa officer that you are the right person for the right idea. Include evidence about your background and employment or business experience in your business application, business immigration application, okay? One thing is you are playing two games at the same time. The corporate game, coming up with the idea and so on, but you need to also think as a foreign entrepreneur about your business immigration application. This is counterintuitive. Step number 2, mentorship and networking even before coming to Canada. I would argue that you need to start mentorship, getting some guidance even before coming to Canada. You don't need to be in Canada these days in our world to get that kind of mentorship. There are so many resources for how to succeed in small and medium business in Canada. Do the right research. You don't have to be. You can do it remotely. Professionals are available for you to consult with and get your ideas checked. As I said, the reiteration and double checking, right? Consult with those who know Canada. There are certain professionals, consultants, business consultants that will tell you whether your idea has a potential to succeed or not. What you need to correct in order for an idea to be successful from the business sense. Buy their time and save yourself from risks of running the business idea and then failing it in the first month upon arrival in Canada. We don't want you to fail in Canada, so do your preparation accordingly. From the business immigration perspective, when you are doing this mentoring and networking, you need to document all the research you've done independently about opportunities in Canada. The lawyer that you will hire, the immigration lawyer, may not be really knowledgeable about your industry, but you know what to look for in your industry in Canada. So do your research, document, give some evidence to your lawyer so that the lawyer can prepare a good, solid business immigration application. If possible, if you can, if you have a visa, traveler's visa, tourist visa, or what we call TRV, visit Canada to explore locations, because the entrepreneur eyes see different things. Okay, your lawyer can be number one lawyer in the world in Canada on business immigration, but you as an entrepreneur in certain sector, you are the best person to analyze what may fly or not in Canada in certain locations. So visit Canada. It's a big country, diverse country, with different markets, small pots of consumer markets around the North American sphere, right? A North American sector. Okay, economic development officers. They are called economic development office, and each province, even each town, usually has someone who's responsible for economic development. Talk to them. Business chambers, talk to them, and contact. Check whether your idea will work or not. Send a question, maybe book a meeting. They are mandated to develop the region, the location from the economic perspective. So you as a potential resident of that location, you may be interesting for them. Business incubators are full of mentors. So there are certain business incubators in Canada, whether they are government approved or they are not approved by government, designated by government or not, they have a lot of mentors. Watch their webinars, see what they can do for you, okay? All right, now next step, I'm developing this process with you. Now it's more tangible. Create your business plan, the document, the real document. Now you've done the research, you've talked to mentors. Now you need to sit and create your business plan. Planning to open a business in Canada, then you must have a viable business plan. Not only from corporate perspective, but from a business immigration perspective too. The business concept must be specific, well-researched, and viable in the Canadian market conditions. It's not just, my idea was great in my home country, it will be great in Canada. No, that's a wrong assumption. Maybe you're right, maybe it's a risky assumption to make. Your idea may be a great idea in your home country, but here in Canada, the conditions are a bit different. From the business immigration perspective, your business plan is one of the most important documents. It's an integral part of your business immigration application. No businessman or entrepreneur who is applying for a business immigration program in Canada should dismiss this. You need to pay attention to your plan, submit it, and have it checked by lawyers, by business, marketing people, and correct it if necessary before you submit. It shouldn't be a business plan in the highest level of this sense. It should not be an owner-operator type of business, that only feeds you. It should be beyond you. It should be beyond your own family, right? You cannot say, I will open a business and I will employ myself and my wife. This is not attractive from business immigration application point of view, okay? It should not be a passive investment type of business. There are many countries around the world, and I agree, that have golden visas, citizenship by immigration, by investment, residency by investment, and so on. Like, for example, Portugal has stopped that kind of passive investment kind of immigration. Canada does not have a passive investment immigration program. So your business plan should involve your active participation in the business. So pay attention to that. These are the tips for you when you are preparing your business immigration application and business plan. At Sobirov's law firm, we have an in-house business plan specialist who will sit with you and do all the research, prepare the drafts, many drafts if necessary, to make sure that your business plan is solid and viable for your goals, and it will satisfy the visa officer's requirements too. Now, another tangible aspect of your journey in creating your business is financial investment. This is very interesting because many foreign entrepreneurs who want to come to Canada may be saying the following. They may say, let me get the work permit and then I will invest. No, not the right approach. So your business plan will tell you how much you should invest to launch a business in Canada. The legal aspect of creating a legal entity is not a big amount of money. It's a very small. But if you research and you found out your industry, how much money required for your industry in Canada, you would know how much money you need to transfer to your legal entity in Canada and make it ready to be launched, to start business activities, right? Mostly it will be your money, mostly. But sometimes you may have local partners, you may have investors who join you in this venture. Sometimes if it's very attractive, you may have banks that will support your business idea. But mostly it's your money invested into your own business in Canada. From the business immigration perspective, financial capacity for starting a business in Canada as a foreigner must be demonstrated to visa officers. Okay? You need to have enough money to be able to be a business owner in Canada. Small and medium business or even larger business. So the proportion, the amount of money changes according to the industry. Must also show that Canada will benefit from the investment in your business. That goes to my point. go beyond your own family, okay? It's not just you being employed in Canada or your wife or your son or daughter being employed in Canada. It should be beyond you, and the visa officer will look into your staffing plan, your hiring plan, and whatnot, your marketing strategy, everything described in the business plan. Must be reasonable to cover the investment that you put into your business, must be reasonable to cover operational expenses in the first 1 or 2 years. This is why we pay attention to the amount. And many people ask, what's the minimum amount? What's the minimum? I say, to be safe, not guaranteed, but to be on the better side, you need to think of at least $150,000 Canadian. Where did I get this number? If you look into federal business immigration programs, they are not minimums. It's more about reasonable amount, okay, to run your business. But when you look at the provincial entrepreneur immigration programs, they have the minimums. They have minimum net worth, they have minimum investment, and the lowest PNP entrepreneur program tells us that it's about 150,000. So from that benchmark, and based on our experience, we say that at least 150,000 should be ready to be used for your business operations in Canada. It shouldn't be all your money. If you must have more than 150,000, but the one that you allocate for your Canadian operations should be at least 150,000 Canadian dollars. Okay, now another tangible and legal aspect. With all the research that you've done, in this step, you incorporate your business. As I said, it could be done federally if you have a Canadian director. It could be done provincially if you don't have a Canadian director. Proper business structure can affect how your business grows, whether it's an incorporated business or it's a joint venture and so on. So you need to consult with the right lawyers about that. We can help you, we can guide you on this. Branch office versus subsidiary. That's a very deep topic. It touches taxation issues at the same time. So talk to a lawyer. Differences between partnerships, sole proprietorship, and different types of corporations. So at the beginning, I suggest that you go with as simple structure as possible. Go with simplicity. And then you may make a complicated structure once you are in Canada, okay? Many Canadian business, from the business immigration perspective now, many Canadian business immigration programs will require that a foreign entrepreneur incorporates a legal entity in Canada. You may do sole proprietorship. Yes, there's a theoretical possibility, but from the immigration perspective, incorporation is the best vehicle to do your immigration. And of course, seek professional advice on this. This is not a topic that I can cover in 1 hour. It's a deep topic. You need to understand how this incorporation is done, what kind of incorporation should be done. Okay, step number 6. Now we are coming to more provincial level and sometimes federal level too on permits and licenses. Permits and licenses are essential to start a successful business in Canada. Why? Because certain industries are highly regulated. If you don't have a license to be operating in that industry, how can you run a business? Okay, so operating without the necessary permits and licenses is a bad idea, and from immigration perspective, the argument will not fly. You can say, I'm doing XYZ in Canada, I will be doing this, I have the money, I have everything prepared, give me the work permit, but the visa officer says, where's your license to do this licensed activity in Canada? So you need to make sure that you made the right steps to obtain the license that will allow you to do certain activities in Canada. Not all businesses are licensed, but some of them are. Your work permit application package must show that you have taken considerable and necessary steps to run your business, to be able to run your business in Canada. If your business requires licenses, then you must show that you have obtained them, or you are very close to obtaining them. So it's a spectrum. The higher the more considerable your steps, the better for you. Okay. Opening a bank account, many people ask me this question, can I open a bank account while being outside of Canada? For your Canadian corporation, a corporate bank account can be opened. Each bank has its own due diligence. If you follow those due diligence, your Canadian corporation may be able to open a bank. Crucial, it's very important to have a corporate bank for your incorporated business in Canada. It will help you practically to track costs, and it will help you to demonstrate that you have allocated the necessary money, you've sent it to Canada, here's the bank account, I am ready to start my business. Most of your, from immigration perspective, most of our clients transfer necessary capital to their Canadian corporate bank accounts, which is a usual practice, and we encourage that in our practice. And it helps you prove that the Canadian business has enough money to operate. It's for immigration purposes, right? Not a requirement in all applications, though. For example, ICT, intra-company transfer application, you can say that the mother corporation, the main corporation in your home country, has enough money to finance the Canadian entity. So you can demonstrate that way, but most of the time it's a good idea to open a bank account. Now we are ready to launch. Houston, ready for the launch, ignition, we can start. Now with everything ready and rolling, the timing is the key. You can start your business, you can push the button. There might be some aborted mission kind of situation. You can reiterate, you go back and then refine and then go again. But the mission overall to do a business in Canada, to run a business in Canada, should continue. It shouldn't be, okay, I tried and failed and okay, let's forget about the idea. No, go back, go back to the whiteboard, do it again, and then go. These are not one step. These are not once and for all kind of situation. You can always change and pivot. From the business immigration perspective, you must demonstrate your commitment to your business plan execution as part of your immigration application. You cannot say, most of the time, visa officer wants to see that you've made a lot of progress, even without thinking about immigration. You've moved on. Okay, you are at the point of no return, whether you get your work permit or not. The deeper you went into the process, the better for you. We looked at our ATIP notes in our last session, Wednesday live session. In those ATIP notes, visa officers one by one analyze what has been done before application was submitted, before work permit application was submitted, right? So the more activities you've done before visa officer looks at your immigration application, the better for you. So start taking actions now to execute the plan before submitting your immigration application. For example, our Nigerian client started to sell products even before coming to Canada. She was in Nigeria, she mandated someone in Canada, they were running the business, making the sales and so on. It's an ongoing process. You cannot say, I will push the button only if you give me the work permit. No, you can do business theoretically and practically. You can do business even without coming to Canada. So that's very important. You need to do certain actions without putting a condition that, oh, I need a work permit. You can run your business remotely. You can appoint someone to run your business. Many ways to demonstrate that commitment. One of the examples, as I mentioned, is appointing someone in Canada to start running your business on your behalf. All right. Step 9. Always do this with your business. Analyze and reflect. For example, the clients we have, they launch certain products. They see in the first 3 months, it's not selling well. So you analyze and reflect and you say, oh, I need to correct this. I need to do this. So for a successful business in Canada, you must constantly try to improve it. The immigration application is pending, right? It hasn't been decided. But You need to constantly improve it. You need to take care of your business. The market will not adapt to you. You will adapt to the market. Okay, the market in Canada is quite sometimes saturated, developed market. Your business will have to adjust to ever-changing market conditions. Look at the last 3 years, pandemic. Did we have to adjust? Yes. So be ready to that kind of a philosophy that you need to adjust, reiterate, reflect, change constantly. We had a case previously that the client wanted to open a pizza place in Canada, but the pandemic hit. He opened another place. He switched totally from one business to another. That's okay if it's justified. And also, from the immigration perspective, your initial work permit will be valid for 2 years, up to 2 years, okay? It could be 1 year, 2 year, depending on the program. You must demonstrate progress, development, and good standing of your Canadian business in order to extend that work permit. Imagine you got a work permit for 2 years. Within those 2 years, you did nothing. You just was pushing the failed business. You didn't do sales. You didn't readjust. What will visa officer think when they are considering renewing your work permit? Will they see any progress? Will they say, oh, he did his best? Of course, failure is a part of business, but he did his best. He moved forward. But if you do nothing and you say, oh, my business failed and I need to extend for another 2 years, I think it will be a hard argument to make. For PR purposes, even further, your business must be financially strong to be able to support your PR application, okay? So do your best, analyze and reflect constantly when you are in Canada or even before, how to make your business a successful business. You are not coming to Canada to fail. You are coming to Canada to succeed. And finally, a bonus point, no matter how great your business plan and preparation is, if you have criminality in your background or not so clean travel history, you violated certain laws, you violated immigration regulations and so on, you may not be admissible to Canada. So watch out, make sure your criminality is, you don't have any criminality, it's clean, you have clean travel history, you complied with all the immigration regulations before. Because Canada shares information and obtains information from different countries, okay? Criminality in your home country may not be the same in Canada. So criminal inadmissibility is a serious topic. Tax evasion, fraud, and other economic crimes must be seriously considered. As an entrepreneur in a foreign country, you may have different situations, so make sure you analyze that. And also avoid being inadmissible to Canada due to criminal record. From a business immigration perspective, we had that kind of situation. We had to work very, very hard to remove that criminality, explain it to Canada, and then bring a client from France to Canada. There's a whole different kind of game if you have a criminality. Past incompliance with immigration laws can be a problem for you. So if you violated US immigration, if you violated British immigration laws and other immigration, Australian immigration, so make sure that you address that issue before you go into your application. All right, final announcement, and I'll get to your questions. Thank you very much. Many people are typing their questions. I really appreciate that. Sobirov's law firm is coming to India. We have confirmed that we will be in New Delhi and conducting seminars on business immigration at Taj Hotel in New Delhi on April 8th and 9th. So make sure you go to this link, which is under this video, and register your interest. Mumbai, April 16th, 17th. We will confirm the location. We are working on that. So see you in India, and I hope it will be my first visit to this wonderful country, and I hope it will be a great experience for me, and hope to see you there. Your team Canada is at Sobirov's law firm. If you have any questions regarding business immigration, book your 1-hour strategy meeting. It will be useful for you, and let's talk, okay? Now, let's come to your questions. All right. I usually take questions like this. So, good morning, Bhupinder. Nice to see you again. How are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Happy Holi. I hope you got a lot of vibrant colors. I wish I could spray some colors today, but I'm very formal. Enjoy the holiday. Enjoy the holiday. It's a great celebration. Okay, now here we go. I will take questions only in English because my audience is predominantly English-speaking audience. If you have a question in a language that I speak, I will understand and I will translate into English again. Okay. All right. Ashutosh Rai, greetings. I'm willing to buy a liquor import business in Canada, although my experience is in IT as a manager and retail franchise as an entrepreneur. Please suggest if non-Canadian can buy. I don't know, to be honest. Liquor business, you can become a shareholder, and I think that business will have all the liquor licenses already. Looking at the restaurant business where liquor, alcoholic drinks are sold, foreigners can buy. But let me get to your question in a comment. Please leave this. I need to look into each province's liquor business regulations. Okay, I assume that there is no restriction to be Canadian to own a liquor business. But that business needs licensing, that's for sure, because it's a regulated industry. I don't see any problem, but let me confirm that with you later on, okay? So there is a question in Uzbek language, which is my native language. It says, if there are any updates on business news, can you please mention those? Well, business news is that today there will be a Bank of Canada meeting, I think at 1 o'clock, and we will see whether Bank of Canada will increase the interest rates or not. They say that they have achieved certain goals by increasing the interest rates, and I hope they will stop increasing because it's starting to hurt Canadian businesses and Canadian homeowners too. I hope that will be the case today. Here's a big question from a LinkedIn user. Greetings to everyone of this show. Thank you. My name is Riyad Slimane, one of the co-founders of CEO of a startup company called KGS, based in Vancouver. We aim to revolutionize the spare parts industry worldwide. It's nice to meet you here. Please review our website if you see a common ground to cooperate with us. Okay, that's an advertisement of KGS. I don't know this corporation, but good luck to them, and I wish you all the best in your industry. Bhupinder is asking the question, please confirm if MPNP entrepreneur visa requirements a Canadian director or not. That's Manitoba, right? So let me go back to my presentation, and in my presentation I mentioned here that if you incorporate in Manitoba, you need a Canadian director. See, these provinces, if you incorporate provincially, they don't require Canadian directors. In Manitoba, according to this, you need a Canadian director. Yes, that's my brief answer. Hi Vijay, hi, nice to see you Vijay. Happy Holi. I hope you're enjoying it with your family and friends. Can one buy established franchise business in Canada as they have proven business models and in most of the cases company provides training to? Yes, it can. Franchise is one of the popular ways for foreign entrepreneurs to enter Canadian market. It's a great way because you have, as you mentioned correctly, you have training, you have brand, you have customer loyalty, and so on. But not all franchises sell to foreigners. Okay, you need to see whether a franchisor is willing to deal with foreigners. That's a good point. Yes, and yes, the foreigners can buy a franchise as a general rule. Ahmad Al-Qiwani, hello to you too. If you have questions, I'll be happy to respond to those. All right, here we go. Have you finalized the dates? Yes, we finalized, we announced. We are coming to Canada, to India from Canada, and we are bringing a good delegation. It's to be confirmed, but we are trying to bring them in too. So if you go to this website, we will be in New Delhi April 8th and 9th, and please register your interest here. We will be in New Delhi and Mumbai. 2 lawyers from our company, our law firm, will be coming, and we are confirming with Synergy Lab, Spark Center, and Whitehaven Securities. These are designated institutions, designated organizations by the government. Spark Center is a business incubator. Whitehaven is a VC firm, and Synergy Lab is a market entry service provider. They will help you to enter and analyze the market in Canada before you do your business immigration. So these individuals, I hope they will join us in India, and you can meet with them, ask questions, listen to what they say, and get to know them closely. Okay, so the link is under this video. Go and register your interest. We will announce the tickets very, very soon. Okay, now let's come back to your questions. Here we go. How to get a license for medical equipment business. Bhupinder, great question, but I'm not the expert. There is a whole process to get a license from Health Canada for a medical device. And Synergy Lab is the right people who helped other entrepreneurs in the medical field to get that license. It's a long process. I don't know much about it, but you can get in touch with Synergy Lab and participate in their incubation and in preparation program too. They have very good services. Okay. What will be the charges for attending an Indian seminar in New Delhi? We are trying to keep it to under $200. It will be, I'm sure, less than $200. But our finance team and marketing team is working. They are working on that. But it will be definitely very, very affordable to attend. All right. Negar, hello Negar, nice to see you. I heard that basically we should not apply for C11 anymore due to new laws. Is that correct? No, I didn't hear anything. The C11 significant benefit policy has changed, has been updated. Now we had a separate video on that. Please go and check. Basically, Canadian government now looks at local impact of your business. And a great example that they give on their website is that if you open a coffee shop in a big city like Toronto, the impact will be very minimal, if at all. But if you open the same coffee shop with 2 employees at a rural location in a small town, the local impact will be huge. So significant benefit work permit C11 will be better off. It's a stronger argument to make if you open a small shop in a in a small town Canada, rather than in a megapolis like Toronto, right? So they are not looking just the amount of investment, but the impact on the local economy. Okay. And you said you were clarifying this, Negar, because it should be just for temporary job. Well, work permit is a temporary status in Canada, right? It doesn't mean that you need to prove that the launching of the business is temporary, but in parallel, you may become eligible for another program. C11 doesn't take you to the permanent residency. Another program will take you to permanent residency, right? So you need to work with a lawyer to make that argument very, very strong. Otherwise, yes, as you said, you need to prove at the temporary nature of your stay in Canada, which was the case all the time. In a work permit scenario, you always need to prove the temporary nature of your stay. Okay. Okay. We look forward to meeting you in New Delhi, Bhupinder. I hope you will attend our seminars. We will be also going to Mumbai, if not New Delhi, but Mumbai is also an option. So stay tuned. Go under this video. There is a link to register your interest for our seminars in India. I think this is all for today, and it's been 47 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this session and you got some useful information about how to open your business in Canada. If you have any questions or require any type of information about businesses in Canada, let us know. Send us your feedback. If you like it, if you don't like it, send us your feedback too, because we want to know what we are doing wrong, what we are doing right. And hope to see you in India. Happy International Women's Day. Happy Holi for those who are celebrating it. And see you next week, hopefully. Send us your feedback. I would really appreciate that. Enjoy the rest of the evening or the day. Bye-bye.